Hey guys, I am in the greenhouse today and I pulled out 7 of these tomato plants that I'm growing in the grow room indoors, and I brought them out here because there's just a lot more lighting and the lights are more dispersed. It's better for shooting video, but when I'm done I'll take them back into the grow room. But each one of these tomato plants has a different characteristic. All of them grow really well under the LED grow lights, and they do great. And none of them are over 12 inches. None of them are more than, this one here might be, yeah, this one here might be a little bit taller, maybe 14 inches. But they don't grow very tall at all. So let's start with this one right here. This little guy right here. See how small those tomatoes are? And this one is so prolific, actually. Look at this thing. It actually starts falling over. This one is called Little Red Riding Hood. And this one is about 11 inches tall. And it's so prolific that it's got so much on it that I actually have to stake an 11-inch plant. Can you believe that? But yeah, I just stake it and it keeps it upright, and I just keep picking and it just keeps producing. It's got more flowers here that are starting. Look at that, more buds right there. And this one does really well. It just keeps on producing. And this is the size that it produces, right about like that. That's about what the size of, I don't know, maybe a quarter or so. But this one does really well. Little Red Riding Hood. Let's do the next one here. This one here is called Tiny Tim. It produces tomatoes a little bit bigger than Little Red Riding Hood, and they're red. This one here is they're not actually ripe yet, but they're starting to actually change a little bit. And so here it is, November 3rd, and I planted these a couple months ago, and they're doing really well. This one loves to be grown indoors. This one here is probably, this is the tallest of all of them. This one actually probably is about 13 or 14 inches, but it's the tallest of the 7. And then we have this one here. This one here is called, this one is Aztec tomato. And these here are little yellow tomatoes, about the same size as the Little Red Riding Hood. But yeah, they're yellow and very prolific. Does really well. The funny thing about it is sometimes they won't be really big. They'll actually ripen kind of small. And you'll see that one there is a little bit smaller. So they have varying sizes, but you know, little cherry tomatoes. This one does really well. This one's about 9 inches tall. It's called Aztec. This one here is called Andrina. These are a little bit smaller than the Little Red Riding Hood. And these are kind of funny too, because these actually will produce in different sizes. So you'll get them about this size here, but you'll also get them like that, really small. And this one, it does really good for me. Really well for me, I should say. Yeah, a really good one. This one here is about 10 inches tall. And then we have this one here. This one here is called Red Robin. This one's here about 8 to 9 inches tall. Produces little red tomatoes here. Does really well indoors. Yeah, this one's about 8 inches tall. And produces them a little bit smaller, but still really does really well. Whoops. And each one of these, I should also add that each one of these is still putting out buds. And so I just keep picking and they all just keep producing. And the next one here, this one here is called Orange Hat, I believe. Yeah, this one's Orange Hat. This one's about 10 to 11 inches tall. Little orange cherry tomatoes. And this one does really well. It's a little more, the stem on this one's quite a bit thicker. And so they kind of grow, it's more upright, and then the clusters grow really close to the stem, whereas some of the other ones, they kind of branch out and they will kind of droop down. This one here grows close to the stem. Very stocky, that stem right there. You'll see how thick that is. This one does really well for me. And then the last one here is little dinky. This one's called Mini Bell. And this produces little dinky tomatoes. Now, I like growing this one because I can pick these off, and I will just throw these on a salad and I don't have to cut the tomatoes up. It's kind of like those, if you've been watching my channel, the spoon tomato. I love the spoon tomato because you can just take a whole bunch of them, throw it on top of a salad, and you don't have to cut them all up. Same thing with this one here. And this one here I've been picking off quite a bit, and you'll notice there are quite a few more flowers right there. I just keep picking, they just keep coming back. I wanted to pop back into the grow room real quick and show you the lights that I'm using to grow those tomatoes. These are the 3-foot LED shop lights. They're 6500K and they're 36 watts each. And that's all I use to grow those tomato plants. And these are the V-shape, and they, you can turn them sideways too. I'll put them right above the tomato plants, but when the tomatoes get like really prolific, I kind of give them a little bit of side light too. So these are like V-shapes, so you can kind of turn them sideways and hit the plants from the side. But I have 4 of these in a row growing, and I will put 4 or 5 of those plants along here, and that's all the light that they have, except for, well, I do have the I do open up the window here because this is a south window, so they do get some south window light as well, but most of their light comes from these LEDs, and they do really well. Now, I'll put a link in the description below to where I actually got these. I've been using them for about 3 years now, and they work wonderfully for those tomatoes. So these are the, look at this thing. It's so prolific. It's just got so many tomatoes on it, it can't even stand up on its own. I have to stake it. Anyways, the thing about it is people say, you can't grow tomatoes in the winter. Well, I beg to differ. I actually do grow a lot of tomatoes in the winter. And the soil that I'm using here is just an indoor potting mix. And I think, I don't have any, I thought I had a bag in here. But yeah, it's just a grow mix. And that's all they need. Now, one thing that you're going to want to do if you grow indoors is to make sure that you cover it with like a 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 inch of sand on the top. Because what will happen is if you have problems with fungus gnats, they will bury into the soil and lay their larvae and whatnot, and they will breed. And so if you cover it with a little bit of sand, it will knock down the fungus gnats. So I don't have any problems with fungus gnats when I do that. So that's probably something that's a good idea if you have that problem. I do have these seeds available on my website, growyourheirlooms.com. I know I have the orange hat. I know I've got the Little Red Riding Hood. The Annabelle, I think the Andrina, I've got these. The Tiny Tim, I think I'm out of this one, but within a couple weeks I'm going to have more, and I do have another plant in the grow room that's producing. The Mini Bell I might have, but anyways, I'll put a link in the description below. It just changes so quickly because people will order them, and then I'll try to get more stock and try to save more of the seeds. So it just they sell out quickly, but I try to restock it quickly. But anyways, I'll put a link in the description. You can go out and take a look. But these are the 7 that do the best for me every year. And when I go into that grow room and I see these things growing, I'm like, makes me forget that it's actually wintertime, cold and rainy and windy outside. So I make no bones about it. I am a summer lover. You could give me 80s and 90s all year long and I would be absolutely happy. But so when fall comes around, I get a little bit down because I know winter's coming and it's not my favorite time of year. But I do combat it with my spinach and lettuce and things like that. And I have my citrus in the greenhouse. But one of the best ways to combat that, if you have the same as me, if you get kind of the blues, the winter blues, is to grow these micro tomatoes. And I'll put a link in the description, like I said, but if I'm out of the seeds, just Google or Bing micro tomato seed or compact tomato seeds, and there's just a ton of different varieties out there. And but not dwarf tomatoes, because that's a completely different thing. That's the Craig Hoolier project, where they're like full-size tomatoes on smaller vines, and they won't grow well in the wintertime indoors. But anyways, that's how I do it. I've rambled enough. So, yeah, if you haven't subscribed, make sure that you hit the subscribe button and hit the notifications so you'll get notifications when I upload a new video. All right, we'll catch you later.